Now that we've learned how to do cross products, we're going to see where we can use this skill in the real world. Let's take a look at this first problem. An airplane travels 1,900 miles in 4 hours. How far will the airplane travel in 5 hours? Well, we want to start by thinking about what steps we want to use to solve this problem. Step 1. We're going to set up two equal fractions with just units but no numbers. Pause the movie now to write this down in your notes. Okay, what's step 2? Step 2 is place the numbers that we know into our fractions. Pause the movie now to write this step down into your notes. Now let's look at step 3. Step 3 is use cross products to solve the proportion. Alright, pause the movie now to copy this step down into your notes. Okay. Now, let's take a look at our problem again. An airplane travels 1,900 miles in 4 hours. How far will the airplane travel in 5 hours? Well, let's take a look at our notes. What's step 1? We're going to set up two equal fractions with just the units but no numbers. Well, my units are miles and hours, so I want a fraction of miles per hour equals miles per hour. Okay? Now let's take a look at our notes in step 2. We want to place the numbers that we know. Alright, we know that the airplane travels 1,900 miles in 4 hours. And we want to know how far it travels in 5 hours. Our unknown is how far it travels in those 5 hours, so we can make that x. Now we can do our cross products. We multiply 5 times 1,900 and 4 times x. Okay, 1,900 times 5. We're going to get 5 times 1,900 is 9,500 equals 4x. We want to get x by itself, so we're going to divide both sides by 4. Cross out our 4's, and then 9,500 divided by 4. 4 goes into 9 2 times. We get 8. We get 1, bring down our 5. 4 goes into 15 3 times. We get 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. Bring down our 0. 4 goes into 30. 7 times. 30 minus 28 is 2. Bring down our last 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Alright, so x equals 2,375 miles. Alright, pause the movie now to copy down the setup of this problem and all of the work into your notes. Alright, now let's take a look at another problem. An athlete measures her heart rate while exercising. Her heart beats 32 times in 15 seconds. Find her heart rate per minute. Pause the movie and try setting up this problem and solving it on your own. Then press play to find out the answer. Make sure you go back to check your notes and follow each of the steps to solve this problem. Alright, let's take a look at the answer. Our first step is to set up the fraction with our units. Well, we have her heart beats 32 times in 15 seconds, so our unit's going to be times per second equals times per second. Our next step is to fill in as many numbers as we can. We have our heart rate is 32 times per 15 seconds, and we want to find our heart rate in a minute. Well, a minute is 60 seconds. So our unknown is how many times her heart beats in 60 seconds. Now, we can solve this problem by doing the cross product. 32 times 60 and 15 times x. Well, 32 times 60, what's that? That's 1,920 equals 15x. Now we can use our inverse operations to get x by itself. Divide by 15 on both sides. Cancel our 15s. And we get, well, what's 1,920 divided by 15? 15 goes into 19 one time. Bring down our 15. 19 minus 15 is 4. Bring down our 2. 15 goes into 42 2 times. That's 30. 42 minus 30 is 12. Bring down our 20. How many times does 15 go into 120? I think it's 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. 4 over. 8 times 1 is 8. Yes, 120. So, 15 goes into 1,920, 128 times. So we get x equals 128 times. So her heart beats 128 times in 60 seconds or 1 minute. Pause. Make sure your answer is correct before going on in the movie. And then, now you can try a couple of practice problems on your own. Make sure you go back to your notes, to follow the steps, set up the problem, and then use the cross product to get your answer. When you finish the problems, submit your answers to the online form.